Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Today I want to do data exploration in Python. Now this is what the data looks like in Python. So it's a diabetes file that shows the ingredients of what is thought to be a contributor of diabetes. Okay, so we have pregnancy, glucose, you have blood pressure, skin thickness, insulin, BMI, diabetes, pituitary function, age, outcome. This is the outcome, so we can see the outcome. You can see the outcome. The outcome means having diabetes or not. So when we look at this data, we can see two types of data largely. Okay, so we have the outcome column, this column here, having the type of data called categorical data. It is either 0 or 1. 1 meaning you have diabetes, 0 you don't have. That's the meaning. In other words, this is a machine language or machine learning. Now for other columns, we have continuous data. You can see there are different figures under these columns. As you can see, you have different figures under these columns. So a combination of this can be a contributor to you having diabetes or not. So a combination of all these columns can be a contributor to having diabetes or not. Now in a case where you have data to analyze, how do you exploit your data? These are a big question of the task ahead of us. If you have data to analyze, how do you explore your data, or how do you interpret your data in Python? This one of the step. Here you have the data frame. So you run the data frame just to look how the data looks like. So for me to view this data as it is, I will run the df. So I basically run the df. So the df gives me the data as it is. Another way is just to get information about the data. You can, so if you want to get information about this data, I'm gonna use .df.info. Yeah, so by running this code, I'm able to see that my data, a summary of the data. You're able to see that we have 768 records, no nulls. This gives you the general information about the data you have. So the pregnancy, glucose, blood pressure, skin thickness. Basically, it's a summary of the information about the data you have. There are other ways you can explore your data. So there are other ways you can explore your data. by running this code here, df.describe. So the describe df.describe gives the count. So when you run this code, it gives you the count, the mean, standard deviation, mean, just a summary of all each column in terms of what it contains. Okay. Now, how about if you want to know the nulls? You want to know about the nulls. Okay. So you want to know about the nulls. Now, if I move up a bit, if I move up, yeah, we are able to see columns doesn't have nulls, but there are cases probably with nulls. So if you want to know how many nulls are in columns, if you want to know how many nulls are in columns, this is how we do it. This is how we do it. So we run the code df.isNull.sum. Okay. So since ours doesn't have nulls, that's why we have zeros here. So we don't have the nulls. So that's why the zeros are displayed. Okay. Next we have df columns, which gives us the column of the data. It's another way of querying. So the df I'm talking about is here. Okay. So the df columns gives a summary of, but it's another way of querying the columns that we have. So you have pregnancy, glucose, all these columns. So the df columns will give us a summary of that. Okay. Let's move. So how about if you want to know the mode? If you want to know the mode, what is the mode? Mode is the one that appears the most. So that's how we understand what the mode. It's the one that appears the most, and the mode is necessary where the column is categorical. So use this code here when the column is categorical. Categorical in the sense that it's either a 0 or 1. Okay. Now, so between 0 and 1, which appears most. If you want to find the one that appears most, then this is the code. So you run this code to give you the one that appears the most. Okay. For a case the 0 appears the most, that means the cases of diabetes are minimal. Okay. For the frequency or the number of occurrences of the zeros are more. Okay. Now we are still exploring the data. We are still exploring our data. Just understanding the data is understanding the data as it is. Now for the continuous data, we've talked about the continuous data. So this continuous data, because there's different figures, you may want to know the mean. So I am using, or I took an example of a glucose. So I took an example of a glucose. Okay, and the mean is 120. If you look up here, indeed you see, if you look up this column, indeed you see that the mean is 120. Okay, now how about if you want to replace the nulls? So you can replace the nulls. Replacing the nulls. If the data in the column is continuous data, then you replace the nulls with mean, as you can see. So if the data in the column is continuous, then you replace the nulls with mean. If it's categorical data, you replace the nulls. So if it's categorical, you replace the nulls with mod. Okay. So this is the code for replacing the code with mean and mod. So you're going to use these codes to replace the nulls with mean and mod. Okay. Now you can go ahead and visualize the age distribution. So you're going to visualize the age distribution, or you can do manner of things. So what is the age distribution of people who participated in this data analysis? This helps in making maybe recommendation or conclusion. As you can see, many of the people who participated are below the age of 30. Okay, just above 25, thereabout. This is the group which participated in this research. So thank you for watching. You can follow for more. Drop your comment in the comment section. You can like, can you as well subscribe. Thank you.